Okay, Coach, I guess tonight concludes the 7-on-7 season. Been a long road, a lot of trips to Albuquerque for the Metro Passing League, long trip over to Portales last week for the East New Mexico Passing League, and then tonight against El Dorado. Just an overall assessment of what you saw from your team over the last 6-7 weeks.
We developed. We came in pretty green, pretty raw, and we got better over the last 6 or 7 weeks. And that was the goal coming into summer. 7-on-7 is no indication of how good we're going to play in the fall, but it allows us to get out and compete a little bit, and that's what we want to do in the summer.
I heard you talk to your team about the fact that I guess you guys passed out some equipment today. The players pretty excited about getting their helmets and their shoulder pads and everything else, getting ready for the start of preseason camp in about 12 days?
Always. If you're not excited to get your equipment, you might want to check your pulse.
Yeah.
That's an exciting part of the season for those kids. And get it all checked out before we go off to coaching clinic and do those things. So we're ready to rock and roll July 31st.
I'm guessing there's still a lot of jobs up for grabs here before when preseason camp starts here in about 12 days?
Definitely still going to use competition to develop some guys and figure out who we want, but the cream's starting to rise to the top. We're getting a good idea who's going to be on our 1 and 2 deep in our depth chart.
There were some moments in the Metro Passing League where your defense looked a little shaky, but they certainly made a lot of improvement last Friday in Portales. How would you evaluate how your defense played tonight?
A lot of that's kids learning to play together, and we have a new secondary coach, Mike LaRossi, who played for us in 2010, 2011, and it's taken a little time for him to get comfortable back there, but he's starting to understand things and starting to see things and learn for himself, and he's learning fast, and it's helping our kids, and I think you can see a difference today as to where we were 6 weeks ago.
How much of a difference is there between, obviously fans follow 7-on-7 and like it and watch the videos, things like that, but how much is the difference between what we see out here tonight and versus what we'll see in late August when you guys start the season playing Oneida here at home against on the 25th in a big game?
Schematically, we're going to be very similar to what we've been doing. We always practice what we're going to do in the fall, but it's not going to be similar at all. A lot of the 7-on-7 stuff's not going to translate because that quarterback hadn't had a rush in his face. So we haven't included any linemen at all, and linemen are the most important part of the whole equation. So there's a whole nother dynamic that we need to add during 2 days and make sure that we're ready for the speed of the game come August 25th.
Also, I've covered a lot of Cleveland's 7-on-7 games here, from the Metro to the Portales here tonight. I feel like there's like a lot of optimism surrounding the team. Obviously, you got an experienced quarterback. You got a lot of veterans coming back on his offensive skill positions. It looks like your defense is improving and progressing. So I got to think once that first practice comes on July 31st, you guys it's go time for you guys. And you guys are going to be a pretty good team this year.
Absolutely. If you're not excited about football at all, anyway, regardless of who you have, you might want to get a different profession, but we are excited because we do have good kids, we have good leaders, and we have kids that are passionate about not only the game of football, but they're passionate about the Cleveland Storm. They're passionate about representing our school and our teachers and our student body and our former players of what they've started. They want to carry that on.
The fact that you guys are playing one of the major schools from Las Cruces in your first game, I guess does it make your job a little bit easier to keep them motivated during preseason camp to make sure they're ready for that first game?
You can look at, we don't look too far ahead, but you can look at our entire schedule. There's not 1 week where we even have a second to just stop and breathe for a second. We have to constantly be preparing and knowing that the next game is going to be just as hard as the last, and I think that's what prepares us for the playoffs and gives us a chance to push deep each year.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.